This semester, a group of 13 students from Missouri State University were tasked to create a campaign that prevents targeted violence.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Morgan.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Sarah, and we are K.E.Y.
Kindness Empowers Youth, or K.E.Y, is an experiential learning campaign with the goal of preventing incel violence. The K.E.Y program educates guardians and teachers on incel violence while enacting protective measures to prevent at-risk youth from adopting incel views.
Incels are an online subculture of predominantly heterosexual men whose self-worth is defined by perceived physical and sexual inadequacy. Incels believe they are denied sex because they're unattractive. This leads to misogynistic worldviews and, in extreme cases, physical violence against women.
To design a campaign to counter incel violence, we conducted extensive secondary research, online surveys, and personal interviews with 3 experts.
Research on incel violence is limited. Several attacks over the last decade have been committed by self-identified or suspected incels. Some experts say that the incel community is an emerging domestic terrorism threat.
We interviewed Dr. John Horgan, one of the leading experts in the psychology of violent extremism, to learn more. He provided some common characteristics of incels.
So troubled histories, a real or perceived history of bullying, rejection, loneliness, depression, helplessness, a strong sense of shame at what they feel is failure on their part.
Our research efforts then turned to child development to determine when children begin to develop the skills that incels lack.
We found that children begin forming their self-concept and connections to their peer group in grades 3 through 5.
We interviewed Lacey Kerr, a clinical social worker specializing in at-risk youth, to learn more. She confirmed that teaching self-esteem and emotional intelligence at this age can help overcome trauma and risk factors later in life.
While many schools have implemented anti-bullying campaigns, we found few learning programs that build those skills. Primary school teacher Erin Giglio provided us guidance for how to design an educational program that can be implemented in the classroom.
To measure behaviors and beliefs related to youth internet use, emotional intelligence education, and incel violence, we designed online surveys for both at-risk youth and their parents.
Youth respondents reported that they feel uncomfortable talking about their feelings. They're also spending a lot of time online at home and at school.
Adult respondents believe that teaching soft skills like self-awareness, confidence, and self-esteem is important for children.
We also measured general awareness of incel violence. Despite 49% of respondents indicating that they were familiar with the term incel, only 15.7% were able to provide an accurate description.
Our research led us right to our primary target market, at-risk youth in grades 3, 4, and 5. These students are preparing to make the transition to middle school. They're sharpening social skills and building relationships with peers, but are susceptible to low self-esteem and feelings of inferiority. They're accustomed to online learning tools and enjoy playing video games that offer customization and intermittent rewards.
Plus, the fact that these 3 grades are usually housed in the same building makes them ideal for a 3-step educational program.
K.E.Y secondarily targets parents and peers. These tech-savvy millennials and Gen Xer parents and educators are capable, willing, and eager to participate in a program like K.E.Y. They are heavy social media users and tend to let their kids problem solve on their own.
Educators in this group are becoming more responsible for teaching outside of academic subject areas and recognize the importance of equipping youth with the soft skills they need for the future.
The key strategy is simple: empower, educate, engage. K.E.Y empowers at-risk youth by teaching emotional intelligence, self-concept, and team-building skills.
K.E.Y educates guardians and teachers about incel violence through strategic communication. Parents and teachers gain an understanding of incel violence, risk factors, and protective measures. K.E.Y emphasizes that while not every child will be affected by incel violence, every child can benefit from learning to value themselves and others for what's on the inside.
K.E.Y engages students, parents, and teachers on an accessible platform that can be used at home or in schools with both physical and digital activity options. Through the use of thoughtful design, relatable characters, and an engaging secret agent theme, K.E.Y creates an environment where kids, guardians, and teachers feel safe to explore difficult topics.
Our secret agent cats allow students to identify with the characters without the barriers of race or gender. One mom even said that the characters help sneak in the vegetables, and well, we couldn't have said it better ourselves.
To accomplish our objectives of empower, educate, engage, K.E.Y utilizes 4 major tactics.
The K.E.Y website serves as a central hub for our campaign. This cleverly designed, easy-to-navigate site houses all of our educational materials.
Separate URLs for students and adults allow students to enjoy our activities while we educate guardians and teachers on the heavier topics of our campaign.
The adult section of our website contains links to relevant articles and activities that cover topics like child mental health, targeted violence, incels, and misogyny. Here, parents can access the materials they need to continue K.E.Y's learning objectives at home.
Secret agent themed lesson plans that we call missions focus on key learning outcomes. Each mission comes in 3 grade levels so students can grow within the program. Missions can be printed or completed online.
With the transition to at-home learning, we made our lesson plans available for free. We provide clear learning objectives and instructions so parents have the option to complete it alongside their child or allow children to work independently.
Teachers can print comprehensive lesson plans designed for the classroom that can be used when in-person learning returns. These easy-to-follow classroom lesson plans include detailed instructions, discussion prompts, and team-building activities, in addition to the K.E.Y mission worksheets.
We also created playful introduction videos for each lesson plan, so students are excited and ready to learn. These videos star the K.E.Y cat agents. They introduce the concepts and provide instructions for the following lesson.
To really engage students and reinforce the learning outcomes of the lesson plans, we developed a video game called K.E.Y Academy.
K.E.Y Academy gives students the opportunity to experience different social scenarios and learn the value of self-esteem. Players become agents by assembling a team and working together to complete training missions. The game promotes learning by allowing students to independently practice the skills they've learned in the lesson plans.
You can find K.E.Y on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. To build engagement, we ran 6 campaigns through Facebook Business Manager to tailor them to specific groups of people. We analyzed which ads worked best for certain groups and experimented with segmenting our audience. Business Manager allowed us to display our ads on additional websites and platforms affiliated with Facebook and YouTube.
Because we weren't able to take K.E.Y into classrooms as originally planned to test effectiveness, we hosted virtual focus groups with parents and educators to evaluate our campaign.
Parents loved our cohesive branding, cat characters, and the option to choose how involved they wanted to be in their child's learning. They felt that their children would enjoy and benefit from K.E.Y.
Teachers were excited that each mission incorporates vocabulary, writing, and critical thinking skills to maximize their utility.
They also appreciated the thoughtful organization of our classroom lesson plans and the inclusion of team-building activities. This quote pretty much sums it up.
I love how everything comes packaged together. If you gave me a binder with everything nicely assembled and displayed like what you just showed me, I would absolutely use it in my classroom.
To further test the effectiveness of our program, we sent K.E.Y Agent Starter Kit boxes with 3 K.E.Y missions and agent gear to 22 test market students.
Students quickly identified with their favorite cat character. The most popular item in the box was the invisible ink pen. Parents of our testers remarked how the invisible ink helped their child be honest in their responses on the worksheets. They also worked great for drawing on dogs.
After completing the program, 75% of students said they discovered internal strengths they didn't know they had and learned new ways to cope with their emotions. 100% of students said they would like it if they received worksheets like these from their teacher and enjoyed our game and characters.
Now time for a budget breakdown. We spent a total of $937. A large percentage of this was spent on Secret Agent starter kits. This was extremely important because it helped us gain direct feedback and endorsements from both our target markets and encouraged peer-to-peer sharing.
27% of the budget was spent on social media advertisements, which raised awareness of our campaign and increased traffic to our social pages and website. We reached an average of 19,300 people with each ad campaign for a total reach of 115,000. Our impressions were equally astounding. Each campaign averaged 26,000 impressions for a total of 159,000.
9% went to developing and hosting our website. This allowed us to create an easy-to-navigate environment for our target market to learn about our campaign and test our products.
Beyond COVID-19, our biggest challenge in designing K.E.Y was the lack of published incel research. It was a bit intimidating at first, but we used what research was available and explored incel message boards and forums to understand the community. Our conversation with John Horgan helped us understand the need for a program like K.E.Y.
K.E.Y has big plans for the future. With an established digital platform and support from elementary school teachers, counselors, and parents in our community, K.E.Y is sustainable and prepared to scale.
We've applied for the Youth Resilience Grant from the Department of Homeland Security to continue the program. Through participation in educational conferences and outreach to school administrators and teachers, we will bring K.E.Y to schools across Missouri and beyond.
When implemented into schools, K.E.Y will function as a 3-year program for grades 3 through 5. At the end of each year, students will give a presentation to their peers about what they have learned. When students reach 5th grade, they will become K.E.Y captains and have the opportunity to mentor younger agents.
The K.E.Y Academy game presents endless opportunities for expansion. We plan to develop additional levels to correspond with new lesson plans. As levels increase, players will gain the ability to unlock rewards. K.E.Y Academy will also feature an online component so players can interact with their peers. In the future, we hope to create a downloadable app for use on mobile devices.
The Agent Starter Kit will be available for sale on our website, and the revenue will provide additional funding to sustain the program. A variety of box options will be available for traditional classroom use, at-home schooling, or for use by counselors.
Now, that was a lot of information. Let's recap.
K.E.Y empowers at-risk youth through engaging lesson plans that focus on key psychological and developmental areas where incels are lacking.
K.E.Y educates the community on incel violence in a gradual yet impactful way.
K.E.Y engages our target markets on an accessible online platform.
Throughout this campaign, we created 1 video game prototype, 9 worksheets, 9 classroom lesson plans, 5 promotional videos, and 3 social media channels.
This is just the beginning. Now our campaign is going beyond this competition as we work to bring K.E.Y to schools and help even more students unlock their character.